hi, hello, you little potato. My name is Panda, and my mom told me to be responsible on the internet, and I said no. Is this how I'm starting the video? Yeah, this is what I'm doing. I know I said on Tumblr that I was going to try to get a video out on Saturday, but I never specified which Saturday, so I guess I wasn't entirely lying. Also, I'm recording in my closet, and my cat decided it was a great idea to just take a nap in here, on top of all of my jackets. So if you hear more shuffling than normal, it's because of him. Anyway, here's the video. When I was in middle school, me and a few other families in my neighborhood had a carpool system. Some days my dad would drop us off to school, or another parent and their kid would, depending on the day. So one day, it was my dad's turn to drop us off. So 8th grade me and my little brother grab our bags and drag ourselves to the car. My brother sits in the front seat and I'm sitting in the back putting my socks and shoes on, because I didn't do that for some reason. But since we were just backing out of the driveway, I still hadn't put my seatbelt on yet. And oh boy, did I pick the wrong day to do that, because things were about to get real. We were just about to turn onto the main road when suddenly my brother just goes, "Hey, there's a dog in our driveway." So I look up to see something that barely looked like a dog taking a big old dump in our driveway. Now just the way I remember the story, the dog looked like Santa's beard, but the beard did 3 lines of coke. But everyone else tells me that I'm wrong. But for the sake of the story, I'm gonna say that I'm not, and this dog looked insane. So the dog sees the car stop, and then sprints towards an RV that's for some reason behind our house. Then suddenly my dad gets mad, like really mad. He looks at my brother and says, "Hang on," as he proceeds to slam his foot onto the gas. Now remember how I mentioned earlier that I didn't have my seatbelt on yet? Yeah, really didn't play out in my favor. As my dad was reversing into someone else's driveway, it's fine though, they weren't home, my face went towards the seat in front of me. Luckily, I managed to just barely stop the impact with my arms. And I start to panic, but oh nope, no time for that! My dad freaking speeds out of there. No joke, the tires made a skirt noise as we barreled down the road. But as I was trying to recover and get up to put my seatbelt on, we turned the corner and I went sideways and landed in between the front seat and my seat. I turned around to get back up, but we turned again and I slammed into the door. But not only that, my heavy backpack decided to join the party and came tumbling down on top of me. So now, I am squished in between the seats thinking, this is it. This is how I'm going to die. And now, you might be thinking, but Panda, you could just move the backpack off of you. You're being a bit dramatic here. And I'm gonna stop you right there and ask, have you ever carried a middle school backpack? They're freaking heavy. My school happened to not have block scheduling, so we had all of our classes every single day. That is 8 classes! So like 8 notebooks or folders, a binder to hold all that junk in, an extra one if you had the mean science teachers, probably a workbook or 2, all the papers at the bottom of your bag, and for me, a pencil case filled with art supplies because I was extra. Also, I brought my lunch, so that was inside of my bag as well. So yeah, it was pretty heavy! That along with all those G's pressing on me from how fast we were going, my dad was probably going like 50 in a 25 zone, okay? Okay, so update, my dad claims he was only going 30, but I don't believe him because I'm the one who got the most traumatic experience out of the 3 of us. Anyway, so my 300-pound backpack is pressing down on top of me, and being the frail little 8th grader that I was, there was no way I was going to be able to move this with the car moving. Eventually, the car swerves up to this crusty-looking RV, and I frantically get back into my seat to buckle the McDuckle up. It was in this moment I noticed my dad had wound down the window and was yelling at an even crustier-looking old man. This old man did not seem happy in the slightest, let me tell you. He started screaming, "What do you think you're doing driving down the road like a lunatic?" That happened to be the only sentence that came out of his mouth that I agreed with. My dad tells the guy to stop letting his dog go into our yard, and the crusty old man claims that his dog never did that. Apparently, this had been a common enough occurrence to the point where my dad had set up hunting cameras around our house just to catch the dog that was doing this. So my dad tells him that the cameras picked up the dog and that he had proof. They scream at each other for a few more minutes, and then my dad just speeds off. So after that it all went down, I had gathered that I did not like this old man, so on the way out of there, I gave him a simple warning. Anyway, it was still carpool day, so we still had to go pick up Megan. We drive onto her street a lot slower, and my dad explains that this guy had been letting his dog go into people's yards for the past month or so. So my dad decided it was a good time to, may I say, harshly confront him. So we pull into Megan's driveway, and as she's walking towards the car, my dad sees Krusty's RV again and yells, "There's his RV! Megan, get in the car!" I immediately check to make sure that my seatbelt is on, because I learned my lesson already. Megan opens the car door and is about to say good morning, when suddenly all she hears is the 3 of us screaming, "Get in the car!" Which isn't sketchy at all. She starts freaking out a little bit, and it's like, what the heck is happening? But the only response she got was, "Get in the car!" So she throws her heavy backpack at me, and suddenly I'm having traumatic flashbacks to earlier this morning. She jumps into the car frantically and closes the door. Now, I don't know if her parents were in the garage or not, but if they were, my dad had a lot of explaining to do later. So my dad goes speeding down the road again, and I turn to Megan and yell, "Are you freaking crazy? Put your seatbelt on!" You know, just looking out for my friends like I do. So she puts her seatbelt on and asks, "What's happening?" But there wasn't any time to explain now. We were chasing the RV. I told her I would explain later, just focus on not dying. Which, looking back now, that may have worried her even more. So we catch up to Krusty the Clown's musty RV, and my dad swerves around him and passes him. But we don't slow down. Now, no one had any idea as to where we were going or what was about to happen. I was just hoping that we'd get to school at this point, which I never hoped for, cause middle school. My dad pulls up to this house, and Krusty's musty dusty RV drives by. My dad muttered something and said, "Stay here," as he leaves us in the car. I look at Megan, and she looked so confused, and so was I. It was also in this moment that I realized that I did not have my shoes on. So we took the time to explain how our morning was going so far, and tried our best to figure out whose house we were at. After a few minutes, my dad came back to the car, and we started heading to school. Apparently, he was talking to one of Krusty's friends or something, and my dad told him the whole situation. So we pulled into the car loop, got into the school building, thank God we survived, and then proceeded to tell everyone we knew what happened. And that's the story. Anyway, that's all for now. Hopefully I'll get the next video out soon, but thanks for watching, and remember to always wear your seatbelt. Bye guys.
Everybody gets tired, but specifically today I'm just tired of you.